Hello friends. Uh, Today we will first learn how to configure Java or JDK in our Ubuntu systems or Linux systems. What we are trying to do is we are trying to build our own package with an operating system where we are using Ubuntu as an operating system, and on top of it we are configuring JDK, and finally we will be configuring Hadoop and its ecosystems like Scoop, Hive, Plume, Pig, Spark on top of this whole system, and you will make a good package on this thing. So this will be a good content. You will know how how to configure these things, which will help you to understand the components very easily. So the first thing is we should know that Hadoop was built on JDK. That Hadoop was built in Java, sorry, and that's why we need a Java runtime environment in our operating system where we are trying to run Hadoop. Okay, so we have an operating system here. That operating system is Linux operating system, as we call it currently, we call Ubuntu 16.04 LTS, long-term support. We can use LTS. So on top of it, we will install JDK. Okay, Java runtime. We'll install JDK. It says greater than 1.6, so we'll be installing 1.8 JDK. Okay, and on top of it we will install uh, Hadoop. We'll install Hadoop second version. Okay, and then on top of it, its ecosystems like we'll installing Scoop, then Hive, then Plume, Pig, and other components as well. Okay, so let's get into the first thing, how to install JDK in a Linux systems or Ubuntu systems. So let's get into the Excel. There are some prerequisites of installing any software in the Linux environment. The first is download the file. In our case, we will be installing JDK 1.8 file. Also remember the bit versions also. Okay. Second, the file which will be downloaded will be in the compressed form. So you need to uncompress it. Okay, or we call it as untar. Sorry. Third, let your system know about the about the application. Means you will be configuring environment variables for JDK. Okay, then refresh or then check if it is installed properly or not. Check if it is done or not. So that's all very simple steps to follow on, and after this we'll be following these things. So first let's download this file. So you can download this JDK. I think I have already downloaded here. Yeah, it's already downloaded. Yeah. So if you see here, it's JDK, it's the compressed file. If you see the properties, it is a file. So this file is in compressed form, so we need to uncompress it. So we can uncompress through the UI extract here also, but we'll do it through the terminal cd download. And also our command will give your system bit version. Okay, so this is 64-bit version, so you have to download the 64-bit version here. Okay, so cd downloads. So let's start -z xf. Okay, this tar is the command to uncompress, where z stands for the .gz extension for those files. X stands for extract, and F stands for file. Okay, we are combining these three arguments for Z, X, F. V is also there. V means verbose. We'll not use those verbose, but we'll not use those verbose. We'll keep some more extra details. And the file name JDK, where to download it's here, right? So just hit enter. It is uncompressing. If I has used verbose, it will pop up so much of details. All the files it is uncompressing. So yeah, I think it's download. Yeah, it is download. It is uncompressed here. So let's go to cd/jdk. Now we need to configure. This JD. We need to tell our system. Okay, there is a JDK in our system. So if any applications, or if anyone wants to run this, to run or use these applications, so you have to give the system. For example, there is a command called Java version. No, the system says I cannot find it in my system. I don't know where to use it. For example, JPS still doesn't know. Okay. Now this was not working earlier. Now it is working. But every time if you need to use this command, you have to go to this, give the full path and run this command. So this is not feasible. So we will configure it properly. So to set environment variables, you have two way. One is temporary way and another is permanent way. So we'll go with the permanent way, and we will open a file called bash.rc. In that bash.rc we'll set the variables, and there is a variable called path. So you see this path variable is the variable which will store the path of all the executables in the systems. So we have to add the path of this JDK bin folder path into this path variable. Okay, all path are coming. So I'll summarize it again. In this path variable, the system will store all the address or location of the executables, and all the executables mostly you will find in bin binary directory of any applications. So in JDK also has its own executables. Yes or no? These are all the executables of JDK. I think JPC you'll find it here somewhere. Yeah, somewhere here. So Java is here, Java C is here. So all these commands are stored in bin folder. So unless you tell that system, okay, this JPC is an executable, and in this executable it will search in this path variables addresses. It will never find on this address, and it will say cannot be found. Okay, so we have to configure the environment variables for the JDK executables or JDK binaries. So we do that in .bash.rc file. So let's open bash.rc file. It is a hidden file. So .bash.rc it is. So before getting that, you need to get the address of this JDK. I'll just copy. So here, yeah, at the end, I'll just say export. First, I'll just say Java home. So this is a variable for our easiness. So Java home. So now this is a path variable. So you have already there is some variable. Already there are this much of variables. This is one path. Okay, this is one path, and another path is appended to this path variable, there are so many path appended. So here also we need to append these things in the older one. So if we are just going to append it now, what are we going to append? Here we are going to append java home this since the same path and slash bin. So what we're going to add? We are going to add the bin path folder of java into this path variable. That is all what you have to do. That's all. Save and just close. Now you have to refresh the file, or you can open a new terminal. Okay, if you open a new terminal, you will see here it will execute, right? Because it knows. Why it knows? Because you see the path variable, there is something called this path is added in this path variable. Okay, so that is how we successfully configured JDK in our system. So here you will not run this because you have to refresh. To refresh, you can go with the bash command or source tilde slash dot bash rc. Commands are simple. I like bash command. So if you see jps, now it will execute. So you check the Java version. Sorry, so it is JDK 1.8. So we have successfully configured JDK into our system. So what did we do? We did very few steps. We downloaded the file, we uncompress the file using tar command, we let our system know where JDK executables are, and we checked it is done properly or not. So that is all how we configure JDK in our Ubuntu systems. I hope you will do the same configuration into systems. If there is any problem, you just ping me down into the comment section below, then I'll help you out through. Thank you very much.